You're like a real person, and I didn't even know.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene. So you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Okay, yeah. So here we are for the getting into the clapper, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So last episode we did the trailer trash for Der Klapper, Das Klapper.
That's right.
2017.
A lot of incorrect German being thrown around.
What you want to just say what it's about? We'll recap everyone.
Yeah, might as well give him the log line.
Yeah, do it.
15 minutes of fame destroys the life of a man who works as a clapper in television.
Now, if that sounds stupid, it's because it is.
Oh, I don't hate the premise. Like, I don't know. Like, I was like, oh, like interesting. I'm always curious. What's the secret life of infomercial people? But like, not like this.
No,
not like this.
No. So this movie sits on Rotten Tomatoes right now at 23%, and I think it's fully deserves
generous.
it. And yeah,
it's very generous.
Very generous. So yeah,
if I were to rate this one, I'd go probably like 5%. Like, I think this is in the bottom tier of movies we've covered, in my opinion.
I agree. I second that. Actually, I second that.
Yeah, this movie stunk.
It was bad. Expectations from the trailer, though, we kind of did pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it did almost turn into Joker, which I wanted more of, but
yeah, very much so.
Otherwise, I think disappointing. Like, we did we say he gets the girl at the end? Because I think we did, right?
Yeah. We had two prognostications. One was the real thing. We were both like, yeah, he's gonna get the girl in the end, and they're getting married, whatever. We nailed that, and then we're like, but what we want it to be is Joker, right, which almost gets there. Without all the violence, but there is a little bit of violence. But
it could have been Joker.
It could have been. This was definitely commenting on the same thing. So
yeah.
All right.
What, are you gonna quick info me?
Yeah, I'm gonna quick info you. We're just gonna keep this train moving. So this was written and directed by Ditto. That's Ditto Montiel.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Real cool name.
What has he done?
You know what? I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna tell you.
I assumed you prepared.
Yeah, you know me. I'm always prepared. He's got 9 credits under his belt. I don't think anything here you would recognize, but he's done movies with like Channing Tatum in them. He's got Shia LaBeouf, the S Beef in a couple movies. His first movie he did in 2006, A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, had Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Yeah,
and was like one of his highest rated movies, and then just went downhill from there. And the rest of them are all just kind of.
I think I saw Empire State with Robert Zema and The Rock.
Oh,
and I think one of the Hems boys.
Oh yeah, Liam.
Okay. Oh yeah, you pulled it up. Thanks.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I've seen that. No, it wasn't great.
No, I don't think. Yeah, it's kind of. I didn't. Yeah, it's a pretty big budgeted movie there. So,
yeah. Classic propaganda, you know.
Yeah, propaganda. He did a movie with Robin Williams, Boulevard.
Oh, rest in peace.
Oh my goodness, how is this possible? So,
okay,
that's who's putting us through this.
All right, so I don't have immediate animosity towards him.
No, not really.
No preconceived animosity anyway.
Yeah, I mean, other than once you find out like the first movie he wrote and directed was based on a book that he wrote about his own life.
Oh, I mean,
are you
okay? know your material? Yeah, I think so. Like, work with what you got.
I guess so, right? Just seems a little like
write the story, you know.
Yeah, it seems a little like who cares?
Yeah, it's a little douchey, but
a little bit, right? A little pretentious, but we've all got a little pretense, right? So he wrote and directed this. Who's in this movie?
All-star cast.
Yeah, I would agree. If you saw this list, I'd be like, I'm in. So yeah, Ed Helms.
I did.
Yeah, we did. Yes, this is all your fault.
Yeah.
So we got Ed Helms playing Eddie Crumble. That's a great.
I love when actors play the character that has their name also.
Yeah. In our movie, we're definitely playing Russ and Jared.
Yeah.
We got Amanda Seyfried, who plays Judy. Judy. Tracy Morgan plays his best friend, Chris. Russell Peters
Oh.
plays.
Does he? I feel like Tracy Morgan plays the same character Tracy Morgan plays in every movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just Tracy Morgan being Tracy Morgan in Tracy Morgan.
Right.
Russell Peters, he plays Stillerman, who's the late night host.
Yep.
Adam Levine plays Rife Ranter, or whatever. He's the producer. We'll just call him the producer. I think, right? He's a producer showrunner with the other
Oh
guy.
my God. I didn't recognize him though. I was like, I thought Adam Levine was supposed to be in this.
Yeah, that's him.
Like I got to the end and I was like, well, never saw Adam Levine.
Yeah, no, he's in quite a bit of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
And then he's most of his stuff is paired up with PJ Byrne, who I've seen before. We've seen him in The Walk of Shame. He plays Mr. Caldwell, the Stillerman showrunner. So those guys will just be producers, showrunners.
yeah. I like that guy. He's kind of funny.
We know Leah Remini's in this, but she's in it for like a minute.
Remini.
I'm pretty sure it's Remini, isn't it?
Okay. Well, I don't know. Internet says Remini, but
Does it? Really?
yeah.
Oh. What part of the internet?
The one where you search, how do I pronounce Leah Remini's name?
Oh,
And it
yeah.
comes up and says Remini.
I don't like that. We're changing it. Remini.
Okay.
So,
Like a Remini mushroom.
yeah. Remini.
Yeah.
Okay. She's in it. She just plays like a producer of the infomercials, but she's not really in it. She's in it for like literally
Oh,
a minute, I think, right?
she's so funny. Like I feel like she would have been a huge asset to the movie
Yes. 100%.
had they used her character
had they written a better
as
movie.
anything. Yeah. Like she actually, like listeners, when we say she's not really in the movie, I think she actually has maybe 4 lines the whole time.
Yes. Yep.
Somehow.
Yeah.
What a waste.
And then, Alan Thicke has Alan Thicke.
The late Alan Thicke.
Yeah, the late, great Alan Thicke.
Yeah.
All right, R.I.P. That's 2 R.I.P.s.
Rest in pieces.
What are you talking about here?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. A lot of dead people going around.
Every
All right,
day.
what do you got?
Okay.
Every day somebody dies.
Everybody.
Oh boy.
Yep. Production budget, box office revenue. So this did go to theaters.
Yeah.
Not in the U.S. though.
Okay.
It was released internationally, only in Portugal.
What?
Yep. Where it made
Why?
$6,961.
Ooh. You hate this. That's like just barely 2 Fanatics.
That's
Actually, I don't even think it is two Fanatics because Fanatic made like $3,700, something like that.
So it's like 1.75 or 1.8, right?
Yeah. You hate to see it.
It's brutal. It had some legs in video though. Total like Blu-ray and all that says 38,000.
Yeah, that's like 10 Fanatics. So
Right. So
we're doing great here.
couldn't find any budget numbers, probably because there wasn't. Like,
I think it's free. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Like somebody owed
Someone, yeah.
Ditto Montiel a favor.
So that's that. So Hollywood pitch.
Okay.
Time? Hollywood pitch. Let's do this. This
I guess
is.
so.
Should we give like a laugh? Like it. Let's just get into it.
Yeah, we're not apologizing for anything.
No, for nothing.
Never have, never will.
Never will. Oh my god.
All right, ready?
Born ready.
So this movie is obviously Live Free or Die meets Return to Me. Now, I can't remember if I've done Live Free or Die before as a
Either we have. I don't know. I think
Okay.
I have, but you definitely
No,
have.
not Live Free or Die Hard. Live Free or Die. That's
Oh.
that's what I'm wondering if I've
I was laughing when I saw this and I was like, "What is he? Where is he going to connect this?"
No, we might have even had this conversation before. That's what I'm trying to remember. Like, listeners, let us know. Did we already have this conversation? Because I'm pretty sure I'm either that or I'm having deja vu where I remember Russ thinking that I wrote Live Free or Die Hard and I actually meant Live Free or Die. Anyway,
One of us definitely used "Live Free or Die Hard," but not. I don't know about this one.
okay. Yeah. Great movie. 2006. You love to see it.
Yeah. Okay.
2007, maybe according to IMDb. I don't know. Anyway, that movie is like a quirky indie dark comedy, which this is kind of, but not that dark, I guess. And reasons why I picked it. So the movie is about like a bumbling idiot, basically.
Yep.
Who's like thinks he's an outlaw, and so he's like trying to do a crime with his buddies. Meanwhile, like flirting with Zooey Deschanel, who is played by is playing Paul Snider's sister.
Okay.
Weirdly.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie's got a bunch of like it's got a bunch of like real actors in it. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he basically he like bumbles through the movie foolishly, gets inadvertently does some sets off a chain of events, kind of like in this movie where Ed Helms is like inadvertently making a situation worse, basically the whole movie. In Live Free or Die, it's that he's like trying to get back at some guy in town. It takes place in small town New Hampshire,
Of course.
He's trying to get back at some guy, and he pours a little bit of brake fluid in his well, in the guy's well.
Yeah.
Classic New Hampshire prank.
That's the move, right?
But then he actually dies. The guy that, and so
yeah, that'll happen.
So now he's like convinced that he's like on the run from the law and that he's like an outlaw. It's like very much like a lot of case of mistaken identity, and like a lot of that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's got very much like oh, we're so weird and quirky. Like, I mean, like it's Paul Schneider and Zoe Deschanel. Like, you can imagine the type of movie this is.
Yeah, the quirks turned up to 11. Yeah. Yes,
exactly. Which I loved. I loved Live Free or Die. Yeah. Did not like this movie. Meets Return to Me, which is wishful thinking. Have you seen Return to Me?
No, have we done this one too?
I don't think we've done this one before.
This is the 9/11 one, is it?
No. This is David Duchovny and people that I don't. Minnie Driver's in it.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. A little bit older movie.
Jim Belushi's got a bit part in it.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
Weirdly.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is the wishful thinking in that Return to Me. Basically, David Duchovny's character it is like some guy who's married and his wife dies, like kind of suddenly and tragically. Just like Ed Helms' wife, right?
Yep. I forgot about that. Right.
And then the rest of the movie is kind of about him like falling in love in Return to Me, I mean. And here's where the wishful thinking comes in.
Yep.
The twist is that David Duchovny's wife died in a car accident, and so they could use pieces of her, and they put her heart into this other woman who then falls in love with David Duchovny's character.
The fuck?
So I was hoping that Amanda Seyfried's character actually had Ed Helms' dead wife's organs inside her. That would have been a way better movie.
That would have been, yeah. That's should have brought that up for prognostication.
Yeah, I guess I should have.
Oh my god. Okay.
And yeah, I mean that's kind of it. like I don't know. Jim Belushi plays like a dumb. Like Jim Belushi does a Tracy Morgan character in that movie where he's like has like lots of, like, oh, don't you know she has Bob's wife's dead heart, like thing. Like, okay. Yeah. It's that kind of movie.
Oh boy.
But anyway, that's what I got. What do you have? I
don't know. This is gonna be fun. Let's. Oh, you know what? You've got one other connection here. This is a crazy one.
Go on.
So in this Live Free or Die, whatever movie, right? There's an actor in the movie, who the character's name is Marcus, I guess, and the actor's name is Peter Anthony Tambakis.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
One of his 4 buddies, who's an infomercial guy, his name is Tambakis.
What? Oh my God! Wait a second. Yeah,
there's another connection for you.
Not just named Tambakis. It is that guy.
No, it's not the same guy.
No, if look at Tambakis's IMDb. It says he's an intern that's uncredited in The Clapper.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Scroll down. Look. Bug-eyed intern. It's up at the very top. It's his last role that he was in. Oh my God! Great job, dude.
I didn't even catch that part. I just saw that, like,
yeah.
But
I'm a genius.
But the other guy, the other guy, like, you remember there's 4 of them. It's, Chris, Eddie, Gooch there, and then this other guy, Todd, who's like his character's name is Tambakis. That's funny.
That's funny. It must be because that guy's in the movie, right? Like,
probably. I guess.
Where would you get that name from? It's a very specific name.
Wow. Okay. Look at us doing the work. Okay.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Huh. Anyway.
Nice job, team.
Yeah, he plays himself constantly in like every movie. Like I think in Live Free or Die, his name was Peter Tambakis. Like, like he played, or no, that's right. He was Marcus. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a character. Anyway, go on. What do you got for me?
All right, so I'm going with It's Lars and the Real Girl.
That's the movie that was on the tip of my tongue earlier.
Was it? Yeah. Meets You know, my default when I can't figure these out, I'm having a hard time. Meets single white female.
Can't wait till you see how you do that one.
Me neither.
Let's start with the easy one.
Let's start with the easy one. So Lars and Real Girl. I haven't seen this in a long time though, so fill in the gaps if I miss anything here. But
okay,
it's our quirky kind of love story thing, right? A little bit indie movie, right?
Yep.
Also got a kind of a delusional guy here, right?
Also got Paul Schneider. Connection to mine.
Boom! Look at this. It's all working out.
Yeah.
So I'm playing that aspect, right? So he's got the indie thing going on. You got like the love story part there, and then you've got the main character. Like honestly, all these characters in this movie, the Clapper, they're all kind of. I think this movie, and I'm gonna give it way too much credit right now, but I think this movie is really about the mental health crisis in America.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone's crazy. Everyone is crazy, and or just so disconnected with like the world around them.
I don't think they're I think they're just dumb people. We'll get into it. I feel like when we actually start talking about the movie, but like, I don't think anyone in this movie was actually like not well. I think they were just dumb.
Yeah.
I think they were just playing over the top.
Because there was definitely moments where he was just like, "Oh, that guy's crazy," like the naked Thomas guy, and then like the homeless guy dumping trash over the place, and then you got the guy who's yelling at him at the gas station. Like everyone's kind of fucking crazy.
And the guy walking around naked, sure.
Yeah.
The other guys, I think, are just like dumb and angry,
and people just freaking out over for no reason at all.
Yes.
Meets single white female because. There is a bit of a stalker aspect going on here in this movie, right?
Yep, that's true.
Ed Helms and he's actually called a stalker by the girl. So there's like a little bit of and he's she is a single white female. So
yeah,
that's as far as I'm going with that one.
Oh my god.
This movie was so fucking boring. I couldn't even. I spent a day trying to think of my pitch, and
I mean,
we talked about this before. We could have pulled Joker, right? Because this is
same movie
that checks so many boxes, right? I guess we could have pulled the movies that were influenced Joker, but
oh, you think Joker was influenced by? You're right, by the Clapper. That makes sense. Yep. Where else would he have gotten the idea for that? Yeah, no, I get it.
Right.
I mean, when Lars with the Real Girl, you've also got like a difficult parental relationship, like this movie also kind of has. Like,
good call.
I know. Yeah. Both single parents, but different. Mom dies in that one, right? And
I think so. Yeah.
Mom lives in this one.
Yeah. So
anyway,
I mean, I wouldn't say we knocked it out of the park, but I think we hit like a good double there. We brought in a run or two.
Yeah, we're trying as hard as we best, as I always say.
Right. So
yeah, great work.
Yeah,
great work, guys.
Yeah. Who's gonna tell us no?
Yeah, right, listeners, tell us we're good. Tell me I'm good.
All right, fast facts. You ready for these? Because these are terrible too.
Yeah, fact me, baby.
All right. Well, let's get this first one right off the bat out of the way. Okay. Last film, I think we talked about in Trailer Trash, last film of Alan Thicke before he died in December 13th, 2016.
I thought you were going to do a bit where you're like, Alan Thicke is dead. And I would be like, what? No. Even though we already said R.I.P. Alan Thicke.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you, man, but Alan Thicke is dead.
What?
So this was his last movie, which is, yeah. So this is his last movie, that's sad in of itself.
What a way to go out.
Yeah, so this movie is based on Dido Montiel's novel, Eddie Crumble is the Clapper. So this guy,
I guess I'm glad they shortened the title.
Yeah, this guy is just, he's crushing all the, writes books, writes screenplays, directs movies.
Well, you gotta, if you can do a multimedia situation, that's what you want.
Yeah, so we have multiple streams of income, right? Between the fashion line, the tours, the concert tours.
Oh, that's right. Your book, soon to be movie, soon to be podcast about the making of the movie and the book.
Yep. It's all just different streams,
Mm-hmm.
In the end credits, this is more of like a goof than trivia, so this shouldn't be here. But in the end credits, the part of Naked Thomas is spelled Nakes Thomas.
What?
Typo.
What?
It's a typo.
They couldn't even spell check
No. Couldn't print credits? Yeah, no one proofread the credits. Proofread. Yep.
All right.
Moving on. And these are ones you love too. This next one. Ed Helms and Amanda Seyfried previously worked together in the film Love the Coopers.
Of course they did. They're actors.
Told you this wasn't gonna be good.
Yep.
The noticeable brand, which I don't think I noticed it, but the noticeable brand of chips at the gas station when Eddie speaks to Judy are the old Utz brand chips. Utz. I say Utz, right? They're Utz. Right?
I think Utz. Yeah.
Yeah, Utz.
Yeah.
It's a capital U. Utz was specifically chosen by so this is kind of weird because now this goes off to like a different show kind of trivia. Utz was specifically chosen by the Office producers and the vending machines on set due to their local roots in Hanover, Pennsylvania. The Office takes place in Scranton. Ed Helms, who plays Eddie, was a cast member of The Office.
No. Come on.
This movie's so bad that their trivia is for another show.
I don't.
That's a stretch. Shame on you, IMDb, for letting that get posted up there. Shame on you.
I mean, we know there's no one at IMDb paying attention.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, they're all asleep at the wheel over there.
Yeah, some Amazon AI checking everything for them.
What a horrible crop of fast facts.
Yep. Yeah, it might be the worst. That might be the worst batch, and I'm glad they actually went fast. So
great work, buddy.
Just doing the best I can.
Didn't bother looking up an interview with this because that sounds too stressful.
just wanted it to end, right?
Yeah, don't want to know.
Okay,
like think of the press tour. Like these guys are definitely had to go do interviews about this, right? Like Tracy Morgan's definitely out there, talking to someone and telling someone this is a good movie.
Or knowing Tracy Morgan, probably not.
I guess that's fair.
He's probably talking about something else, like birds or something. So
very well could be.
I don't like.
All right, should we start talking about the movie? I guess.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I think we should have probably done was more research here because there are 100 production companies. You only wrote down 3. There's like 5 more.
Yeah, I just wrote down the 3 that popped up in the opening.
No, they don't stop.
The whole opening credits sequence is baffling,
devastating. There's gonna be a lot of who asked for this to be made. Who's this audience? Who's the audience? Who's this movie for?
Yeah, what's happening here? What is actually going on?
All right, let's get into it.
Are you telling me?
Are you telling me someone's supposed to watch the movies we make?
Oh my god! All right, so production companies right off the bat, we get Momentum Pictures, which is an Entertainment One company, which we've done a couple of their movies before. I forget which one exactly, but there was one we did.
Yep, that's one.
That's one. Fortitude International.
Yep, that's 2.
Orion Entertainment.
That's 3.
That was the first 3 right off the bat.
Yep. Followed up quickly.
Then it goes into
Momentum Pictures Presents. That's 4.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, isn't that
Fortitude International Presents? That's 5.
Well, they're just repeating it. They just repeat it in text. They always do that.
Yeah, I know. But that's like, why would you do it again?
I don't
right
know.
At the beginning. Do it, save it for the end. So, all right. So we've only got 3 unique ones, right? Then the phone
3 uniques.
Phone starts ringing.
Landline. I think this was just to show that this character is not connected with the world.
Yes. Because other characters have smartphones. So
yes.
Yeah. I thought that at first I was like, oh, is this anachronistic? Like this movie's set in the 90s. And then I was like, nope.
Yeah. I was like, nope.
He's set in the 90s.
Yeah. So it's mom calling, right? So you introduced mom's character, and she's
this is Eddie Crumble. Leave a message at the beep.
Beep beep. Yeah.
And while mom's leaving a message, we get a Cedarville Pictures and Shore Pictures production.
Oh, there you go.
That's
sneaking us.
4 and 5. Eddie, it's your mother.
Could have been Donna Mint, but
could have been
Donna Mint.
Now, did you call the phone number?
I didn't. Did you?
No.
Oh.
I meant to. I forgot they did the phone number until just now. But I was like, that's a real number though.
Yeah, sure is.
Let's read it. Maybe the listeners will call it and tell us who it is.
Oh, some person's gonna be like, what?
Yeah, some person's gonna be like, I got tens of calls the other day.
Get 2 from us.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, wrong number.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe we'll call it after we record the episode and you can fix it and post it.
I can do some magic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 718-726-7408. See what happens.
So he was like, hey, reach Eddie. You reach 718 Eddie Crumbles. Okay, whatever.
She's saying like she saw him on the TV. Because she's like obsessed with him on infomercials.
Yes.
Which any loving parent probably would be.
Yeah.
Old,
yeah. Mom's going to support your kid, what they're doing, you know?
Right.
A
Exactly.
grown ass adult.
Meanwhile, he's not answering the phone to his mother. Instead, he's rehearsing in the mirror.
Yeah, he's practicing his line because he's got a line.
You're telling me with no money down, I can get a house?
That's not true.
Lies. And so his mom keeps calling, and then he walks out of the house. Right. We get
and
like
then this
sense
is
here that he not a rich man.
No, yeah. He's not a rich man at all. But as soon as he walks out to just go about his day, this is where, so the credits roll, and it's him walking around LA, right? Walking around town. But the background becomes like a cartoon.
Yeah, I liked it actually.
All the cars and him, it was real cars and him, but everything else was like cartoonified.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Very quirky indie movie.
Yeah, but it was like, I guess it's supposed to be an intro credits thing. So, okay, fine. But
sorry, I was going to say, which meanwhile, during the credits, a Pacific Electric Picture Co. That's 6.
Oh, geez.
Good for You Films Production. That's 7.
Getting money from anywhere you can get it.
In association with the Living the Dream Films. That's 8. Skit Bags Entertainment. That's 9.
Yikes.
Was that it? And I think that's it for production companies, but 9 production companies mentioned in the credits here.
Holy smokes.
How is that even possible? Also, the names.
Yeah.
Good for You Films. Skit Bags? What's a skit bag?
Yeah, there's 8 in here, and then you got all the distributors too. Falcon, Momentum, NOS Audio Visuais. That was the Portugal one.
Oh yeah, and they didn't even list some. Like they didn't list Movie Trailer House.
No,
they didn't list Kodiak. Nope. They didn't list LTD either.
Nope.
Interesting. Yeah. So either way, too many companies.
Too much. But hey, you get money wherever you can. You get $100 there, $1,000 here. That's what you got to do, I guess. Calling in
I
favors.
like the effect. At the end of the cartoon sequence, he ends up at the gas station, right? Kind of.
And also his daily activities here is him going to the gas station, filling up a gas can, and then getting onto a bus. Can you do that? I don't know if you can.
I was thinking the same thing. Don't think you can. I was like, he's a terrorist now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't bring weapons and or anything flammable onto a bus.
Yeah, it would be frowned upon. Also, gas cans, like it smells like gas. It's not like it's just because it's in the can, you can't. Oh, it's a container. If you're standing over a gas can, it smells like gas.
Smells like gas. This whole sequence just didn't make any sense. And he's on the bus with his buddy Tracy Morgan, right?
Right, huffing gas fumes.
Yeah, and this is a really long credit scene too, like opening title credits. Like, holy shit!
It's like maybe a 20th of the runtime of this movie.
Yeah.
And then the bus says Hollywood. That way we make sure we know where we are.
Right.
In case you weren't sure.
And we do see a quick glimpse of an ad for late night host Stillerman, right? The bus ad right over the top. So we know.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of a foreshadowed.
As they would say. Yep.
As they would say.
And then this is when he shows up. He's on Hollywood Boulevard, right?
And we see Spider-Man, kind of.
Yeah, old Spider-Man, right? Like retired Spider-Man, but still wearing a costume.
Yeah, a classic Hollywood Boulevard, kind of like
Boulevard.
Classic
Boulevard.
Classic Boulevardman. Just going, hey, come see a thing. We got shows and autographs and meet your heroes, whatever,
Yeah,
hawking whatever piece of paper you can do.
Have you been to on Hollywood Boulevard before? Boulevard?
No.
No.
Only from what I've seen in the movies.
Yeah, I drove down it and I was like, that's all I need. I don't need to get out and interact with this.
No, I have not very much interest in going to LA.
No, I do. I enjoyed it, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, Hollywood Russ, as I used to call you.
That's right. Someday.
Yep, someday.
Someday. Any day now.
Yeah. They say Hollywood is for the old.
Someone says that, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So then we get Eddie.
Jeff Bridges.
So Eddie's So then Eddie's putting on his fake mustache, his little disguise for his first infomercial, right? It's not his first. It's just a job, right? So
yep.
He's a working man. And then we cut to the infomercial. This is the one kind of from the trailer, right? No, it is from the trailer with Alan Thicke, the No Money Down one. We see Leah Remini. Yep.
Leading a chant of "No money down, pennies on the dollar." Getting the whole audience worked up.
Mickey Gucci, see him in the background too here. I don't know if you caught that. So he's there. So the whole planted crew is there.
Classic Gooch.
And then Eddie, the line he was practicing in the mirror, he says his line. And you see Tracy Morgan kind of mouthing it because he would love to have a line, but he doesn't get a line. So, and then they all laugh and clap because they're the clappers. And then they cut to Tracy Morgan, and Tracy Morgan laugh made me laugh. And I was like, I bet this is the funny. It was like a Tracy Morgan laugh. And I was like, I bet this is the funniest thing in this movie. And other than the Mark Cuban thing, it probably was.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, Tracy Morgan was definitely the only almost funny character in the movie.
Yeah. And then we're out in the studio a lot, the food truck, right? The lunch truck.
Yep.
And
still wearing his disguise, which I appreciate.
Yep. Hey, stay in character. Use method.
Yeah.
And Alan Thicke shows up, right?
Oh, man. I don't want to spoil the very end, but I do want to say, like, for also being his last movie, like this movie makes him look like a dick.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Alan, play yourself and be an asshole.
Yeah. It's like,
I don't know, guys. What if I'm dying?
Right. If I want this to be my legacy, how everyone's gonna remember me by. So they're all like, so it's the crew of the clapper guys here. They're all hanging out, and they're like, are they just harassing him, or like they're just being kind of idiots?
Yeah, I think everyone's just idiots. That's what I was getting at earlier. I think everyone in this movie is just dumb.
Yeah.
Like that's the premise, but like trying too hard to be dumb, and it's really cringy and uncomfortable.
Yeah. So it comes across as like they've all got mental problems, which is right.
Yeah, that's what, like, I think it's like mildly offensive how they're playing this movie.
It's like so they're I guess kind of like weirdly, like they keep saying the line like best audience money you can buy, and like I don't know, it was just really weird exchange. And then and Alan Thicke just snaps.
If you guys don't shut up, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna hurt your friend. You have a nice day.
Oh, that's that Canadian right there. You have a nice day.
Yeah, and hurt your friend is referring to the puppy, which is adorable.
Yes. Was there a puppy?
There was a puppy.
Yeah, I never seen a puppy.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan had a puppy for parts of the movie when it was convenient.
I don't even remember that.
Fair enough. Okay. You don't need to. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
It never becomes important. So.
What a weird thing. And I completely missed it.
On the way home, they stop at the gas station. They leave. They're like, okay, scene adjourned.
Yeah.
Like there's so many in this movie. There's so many cuts like that too, where like the scene just ends abruptly and you're like, oh,
yeah.
On to the next one.
Yep. Just I guess moving on. So gas station, which is one of the 4 locations for this entire movie. This is where we meet Judy, right?
He gets $4 on pump number 3.
That's less than a gallon of gas today.
Yep. Back in whatever year this came out.
2017.
Yeah. That's probably maybe almost 2 gallons.
Back then, probably.
Yeah, Chris is just waiting in the car the whole time with the dog. That's like they do have the dog in the
okay.
Anyway.
So he goes up to, so it's one of the enclosed gas station huts that we've discussed in Trailer Trash, which is protective. Not the gas station from Fight Club and not the gas station from RoboCop, which we talked about in Trailer Trash.
Correct.
Yeah. The one in RoboCop was actually in Dallas and it no longer exists.
Oh, Dallas
Fun facts.
Exists, huh? Shit.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Horrible place, but shout out to our listeners in Dallas.
Yes, keep listening. we'll
not a horrible
you.
place, I guess.
Yeah. So this part, they're at the gas station. I wanted to shut the movie off here. This speaker gag thing was so frustrating and so annoying and not funny at all. I was getting angry with this whole scene. It kept going. I'm like, stop. Yes. So Judy's inside the little hut there, and there's a speaker between, and the gag is like the speaker, it keeps cutting in and out so they can't hear and communicate with each other. I'm just like, they are idiots. And this is so painful and it's not even close to being funny.
Nope. Doesn't benefit anyone.
So annoying. And it goes on for so long.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Oh, that's right. So they explain the dog here in this scene too.
Oh yeah.
It's Chris's friend's Walter's dog. Walter's an optometrist.
Oh, right.
It's really important.
Maybe there was some scenes on the cutting room floor there.
Yeah. But half this movie could have been like the movie wasn't long either. It was what, hour 29?
Yeah.
It was like you could have cut 25 minutes of it easily. Like this could be a short film.
So the speaker gag thing that's set up to lead him to come up with like, oh, I got an idea for you. What you should do for your customers, and you can't hear him. Use flashcards, and they can just give you, you know. I was like, I wonder if this is going to come back later.
And this is when you get the sense that they start setting up. She thinks he's like a genius.
Yes,
wow, you always have really good ideas. Okay,
just fix the speaker. That's the good idea.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, bye, Judy, and scene.
And then we get to the next infomercial, the nail hammer, our favorite tool. And we will sponsor or we'll support the nail hammer's use.
Send me a nail hammer, listeners. I guess.
Maybe not.
I'll get a PO box for that.
Yeah, get a PO box for that one. And we got our boy Vince Offer here. Here he is. He's got something wrong with his eye. Is he doing like a little?
I think it's just the drugs.
Time. It happens.
I think so.
So this is all from the trailer. So this is the nail hammer stuff and Mickey Gooch. And then they actually show him hammering a nail into his hand. And everyone.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it like never comes back really.
No.
Like they say it in the next scene briefly, but then it doesn't matter at all. There are no consequences.
Then they show them going and collecting their money, right? They're waiting in line to go collect their money or something, and that's it.
And so apparently you get paid extra for questions, or at least you used to. And so Eddie asked for his like extra $200 for doing 2 questions or something like that.
Yeah.
Leah Remini's like weirdly mean to the guy with the nail in his hand for some reason while they're collecting their money. Yugoslav is his name, I think. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yugoslavia. They just call him Yugoslavia for some reason. And then they do a bit about how the food at the craft tables for SAG members only. And they're like, no, like we're going to eat the food. Damn it.
Yep.
And then they walk away and like complain about not having a union. This is like they're like,
now it's like the studio lot or something right now, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the four of them just being like stupid.
It's
cringy. It's cringy, and they're just stupid. I'm like, this is when I started thinking, like, is this movie? What's it trying to say?
So.
What's it doing?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I think that as soon as you just go down that path, you're doing a bad thing already.
Yeah,
like you're like, oh, this is what you think regular people are like. Like, oh, like I don't know, fucking Dido Montiel here being like, on his high horse of. This is what the plebs must do.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't care for it. Like everyone was just acting like Tracy Morgan's characters in general. I feel like a lot of times are kind of like this.
Yes,
but they have like elements, like smart elements to being a dumb character.
Yes.
In this movie, he's doing a double Tracy Morgan, and everyone else is also doing a double Tracy Morgan.
Yes.
Like in a bad way.
It feels like they kind of overlayered the quirk too much, and it's just like, oh, now no, you're going into wrong territory. You crossed the line. Now it's just like these are all people I feel sad for, and they need help.
Yeah, and that's when Ed Helms has the line, "If I wasn't such an idiot, I'd feel like a moron hanging out with you people."
I thought you were going to open over that one.
I thought about it. It was one of my options.
And then we're at Eddie's apartment here, and he's got Stillerman show on in the background, right?
Getting a beverage.
He's on the phone with his mom, right?
Which it's apparently 2 a.m. her time because she's East Coast.
Yeah, because he's watching a late night show. So, And then it happens. We get on the Stillerman show. It calls out Eddie and all the infomercials. Like, who is this guy? Like, he's in all these, infomercials, and they uncover all his disguises he has, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And they want him on the show, and anyone with any info about him, let us know.
And meanwhile, he's doing some backstory for his mom of like, I moved down here to move on, Mom. Like, right. I'm just trying to build my new life in LA. And Eddie looks at this point, he's like kind of pleased with himself. Like he recognizes himself on TV as the clapper, and he's like, oh, I'm kind of famous. Interesting. Because he doesn't understand the repercussions. But then he seemingly does understand them overnight.
Yeah. There are reasons for people getting angry in this movie. There are no, or they just don't.
Yes,
they just don't feel real. It doesn't make any sense.
No, and Ed Helms in particular, like I feel like he does a lot of like yelling in this movie.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are you so?
It like feels uncomfortable. Like it's cringy.
Yeah, they're trying to do this on purpose, but I don't think so. Right? I don't know.
Yeah,
it just doesn't. None of it adds up. So. Then we're back at the work here. We're at the studio lot, the food truck again, right?
Yeah.
And this is when he's
starts complaining to Chris about how he won't be able to keep his job because of
Like, why not? I'm like,
Yeah, well, because he's supposed to be anonymous.
oh, right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, right. So,
And Louise, Leah Remini's character here, is like, he's going to get on his case about this if he's all of a sudden now he's discovered. And so he tells Chris, Eddie tells Chris to go find out what she knows. And like, meanwhile, everyone at work is harassing him for being on the Stillman show.
yeah.
So like,
And
obviously everyone knows.
And there's a lot of Eddie here sending Chris to go do stuff for him. And it's
Yes.
like, what? Just deal with it. Like, go talk to her.
It's so frustrating.
She's probably got a TV and she probably is a little more in tune that you're not. And she probably knows that you're on this.
Yes. So then
Car ride.
we get in the car. There's a lot of car ride scenes in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of car rides. Yeah.
And mom's on the phone talking
Yeah.
about it, and being on TV, getting discovered. Like, oh, you're going to be a big star now, right?
He's like, I just want to work. I just not get fired.
Why wouldn't you want to be discovered?
Yeah.
Like, this all could have been avoided if you had just been like, oh yeah, like, let me lean into being famous a little bit. And I get that that's also the criticism that the movie's trying to do.
The satire of some sort, I guess.
Yes,
But,
like, it's
the commentary,
about-
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, about that kind of fame, and how like those people don't get paid a lot of times. Like, you're like, oh, you get paid in exposure. Like, that's
Yeah.
like, I think that's the premise here,
Yeah.
kind of at the core, right? Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If I'm being very generous.
Yeah.
And so then guess where we are now?
Gas station.
The gas station. That's right.
Mobile must have paid a lot of money for this.
Yes, a lot of good mobile sign shots. Shout out to
gas.
mobile.
Yeah, killing ducks and right. Probably murder a few ducks in their day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's the old Valdez
Yeah.
incident. I mean, that's Exxon, but like Exxon Mobil.
I mean, come
like,
on,
they're the same now.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah, still crimes.
still crimes. But hey,
Anyway,
the speaker gag is still going with the speaker gag.
right.
And we got I think this is his character's name is Hercules, isn't this guy, the boss or something, right? Or whatever.
And
And
he's
he
just
hates Eddie.
arguing.
And just
Yeah.
arguing and yelling at him. And it's just like, okay. And he's got the same speaker problem.
Ends with a go fuck yourself.
Yes. Yep. Good old go fuck yourself. And then Eddie just happens to see Judy across the street and runs awkwardly across the street. And
Yeah.
this is more cringy stuff. He's like just super like fucking awkward. Like people aren't like this.
No, they're not.
like
And that's when he
over the
gets to, like,
top.
this is when he delivers you're like a real person and I didn't even know. Because like, she's not just a gas station attendant.
Like,
What? And then he
Why?
volunteers to walk her to go get her soda. She's got a 20-minute break. So
Going to get a soda. So then we're at the fast food place, which this is from the trailer, right?
yeah, sorry, I generously called it a restaurant, but you're right, it is a.
Well, it's like one of those outdoor fast
burger
food
stand.
burger stand. Yeah, it's burger stand.
He creepily offers to pay for her. So this is from the trailer too,
Yeah.
but in the trailer it feels romantic. And,
Yeah, like it's supposed to be like a first date.
yeah, like he'd asked
Yeah.
her out on a date.
Yeah. He
It's
did.
not
He
that.
stalked her. He followed her over and was like, "I'm gonna buy you a soda."
And it's like really uncomfortable. I've felt
So awkward.
I'm not, spoilers for the end here. I'm not happy that they end up together because the way this starts is uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's a bit of a crazy person. So
Yeah,
he's
He, like,
being.
shows.
I was gonna say he's being like. He's annoying. He's an annoying character, and he's like that stupid, tropey, no confidence guy who can't.
Yep.
Come on, man. Like.
Shows off his listening skills because he's a nice guy. Like, oh yeah, you were talking about a goat with like one eye or something, one horn, but yeah, good remembering.
Oh yeah. Oh, that
Her-
comes back later, doesn't it?
Her goat. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'll get the food, you get the table. Crazy that no one's here. Usually this place is so busy.
Yeah.
And then
I love how you have so many more notes here, and I literally wrote, "They talk about stupid shit, and it starts raining." That was like,
yeah, I know, and because I watched the movie like 3 days ago. I'm trying to remember. Like, I wanted to make sure I remembered what happened. Not that I would forget. Like, as soon as I look at my notes, I'm like, oh, it all comes back in seconds, and I hated every second of it.
But some of this
But
is
yes.
important though, because this highlights some of her anxieties about getting fired from her job and stuff like that, right?
Yes,
So
she brings it up immediately. I'm worried
Yeah.
about getting fired. He's like, why?
There's plenty of gas stations to work at.
Yeah. and all, yeah, yes. And he's like, well, if you got fired, I'd never go back because I like you, and
Yeah.
that's bad. So then she's talking about all his job stuff, all his shows.
Yeah.
He tells her about the Stillerman show, which she has never heard of, which like also doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like if you walk down a random person on the street and be like, oh man, like I was watching Conan the other day, even if they've never watched an episode,
you're gonna know who it is.
Yes.
You can't live in such a bubble. Like these characters are just in this you're in the middle of LA and you're in such a bubble. Like
Yes.
the Stillerman guy's ads are like all over the buses. It's billboards across.
Yes. He's like Jimmy Kimmel,
Jimmy Fallon. He's
Jimmy Fallon. Yes,
James
exactly.
Corden, whatever, Like,
Yes. Like even if you've never watched anything from them, you know those names, you know they're late night people.
Yes.
So frustrating. She's like, oh no, I never heard of it. He basically says like, well, don't worry about getting fired, which is the opposite of what he was just feeling an hour ago. Also,
well, they do kind of cover. Sorry, they do kind of cover that up that she doesn't know because doesn't she say she doesn't have a TV or something like that? She's like, oh, I don't really do TV. So
but
it's like
again,
still like
look at a billboard, read a news article,
talk to someone.
Right. Like, she talks to people all day, every day. Like, and he like totally has a different stance than what he was just saying, and also the rest of the movie. He's like, well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
What?
Take your own philosophy here, guy. Right?
Yeah. And then she has a couple of weird lines about how she's going to go back to the shelter, and she's talking about an animal shelter. But I was like,
I thought she was talking.
Is it also a women's shelter? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It was uncomfortable. But apparently, there's a half a pig or something like that. That is a factor.
I don't. Yeah.
And then they're talking about going to Mexico, and he's say that he miss her, and she asks if he's married, and then it starts raining,
and everyone comes inside.
Yeah, and then so they leave, and then the gas station tows his car away. Again, like all important details if you care about what happens in this movie, but not important details at all.
Oh my
Back goodness. At the ranch.
Back at the ranch, Eddie's apartment here. He's watching Stillerman, right?
This is a new segment. Who is the clapper?
This is on the street segment, right? And this is from the trailer as well, a little bit more stretched out. But and then you had someone running around asking people, "Yeah, do you know who the clapper is?" And they got a cardboard cutout of him.
Everyone's making fun of him. Like, oh, that dumb,
that loser. Then we got Gronk. Rob Gronkowski just showing up.
Yeah, he looks like a porn star. You're like, what? Classic Gronk. See you later.
Gronk, yep.
Fuck you if you want to be on the podcast. Let us know. He's retired again. He probably has nothing to do.
Yeah, he can concuss himself through that dialogue.
Yeah,
and then they run into Chris, right? Yeah. So Tracy
Chris
Morgan.
Plork, which Plork is a funny name that I don't think is actually anyone's name, right?
No, that can't be. No,
it can't be.
No. What is that? English? What is
listeners,
that?
if you know a Plork,
is that Norwegian? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
And he spills the beans entirely about Eddie, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, like unknowingly.
Yeah, Eddie's watching this, right? He's watching this all kind of unfold. So
yep. This is the first time they frame it as, does the clapper have any demands for us?
Yes. Yeah.
Chris is like, he just wants it to be okay to do his shows. He just wants to work.
Yeah, that's it.
And everyone's like, that guy's crazy.
All right, so then we're back at the food spot here, right?
Chris is grilling him.
Yeah. It's better joke than the jokes written in this movie.
Thanks.
So they were talking, and I'm still like, I get it, because like if he's too exposed, he can't just do his job anymore. But he's so amped up about this, and it's anxiety. It's giving me anxiety. Watch him have anxiety about this because it's so stupid.
Well, and then he does like this in this scene. This is when Eddie says that they got fired, which is like, it's not clear that they ever got fired formally, but he says that in the scene. He's like, "We got fired, Chris." And Chris is like, "Well, I got the producer's number." And like they just like kind of gloss over. I was like, wait, that was a key anxiety for the first half of this movie.
And they just totally glossed over it, so much so that I completely missed that line.
Yeah, Eddie's like, "We got fired, Chris," and Chris is like, "Well, I got the producer's number. The cardboard cutout looked nice."
Oh my god!
What? And then
happening?
Basically, Eddie says that he's got to call the producer, got to tell him that he doesn't know Eddie, and like undo what you did here.
You don't know me. Tell them you don't know me. Come on, John.
Yeah, and then basically, and I think this is another part where they're talking about how they got fired because Yugoslavia is there too, and he's like, "Oh, you could be on Law and Order."
So now
they always need extras for that, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he like the rest of the movie, he just does a bunch of extra work instead of infomercial stuff.
Yeah, and that's what. Okay, so this is even more confusing now. So they got fired, and I was so confused because then they cut to the next scene is like that quick clip in the trailer where they're in like a Spanish judge court show or something like that.
extras in court shows. Yeah, because that's what I think. That's what they were like. Oh, you could be on Law and Order, and they're like, this is the next best thing. Like they couldn't make it to Law and Order, so they're on this Spanish speaking court show.
I had no clue what was happening. I was like, what is okay? So yeah, there's dancing. It's bizarre. I don't.
And Eddie hates it. He wants to go back to his old job. He wants the infomercials again. He says it was a horrible experience.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Later that night.
Remember out in the street, right? He's walking down the street.
He's telling Chris how he wants to take Judy out on a date. Chris is being encouraging. And then people start to recognize him.
Yep.
This is our first billboard that we see.
Yes. And you got two guys that come up to him. You got a guy dressed in a potato costume, and then a guy. Yeah. So the other guy, I'm not sure if you probably wouldn't recognize him, but the other guy was like, man, who is that? The guy who does he's like, I guess supposed to be like Darth Vader. So he's got doesn't have the helmet on, but I don't know if you recognize him. And I was like, man, was he in another ITMT movie? And he wasn't. No, but he's this guy who was in, who played, funny enough, Eddie in It, the new It movies.
Oh, yeah.
James Ransone. Okay. He played the adult Eddie.
Sure, yeah. Good.
He was the Darth guy. I was like, oh, okay.
Weird.
So, yeah.
Huh. Okay. And then this was almost the quote, you say potato, I say nice mustache. Good line.
It's funnier in our context, not in the movie.
Right. Yes. It's funnier me just saying you say potato, I say nice mustache. Like I'm going to start saying that, I think.
Yeah. Oh my God. So they're kind of, as with 15 minutes of fame, I guess, people are starting to surround them and they're videotaping them and stuff like that. Right.
And they make it weird immediately. But Potato Man's like, wow, we should put Eddie in a net and bring him in for a reward. Like, what? That's not how this works. I was like, these boys are going to get in a scuffle.
Yeah. I mean, people are crazy. So who knows? This
is when he has his first bout of going nuts where he's like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the clap guy. Let's all laugh. I'm the clap guy. Ha ha ha. Like, fuck you all.
And he's being like a total loony bin.
I think he's just dumb.
Yeah. He's just, it's okay.
So, and he drives you, surprise, the gas station.
Oh my God. Another gas station. If you didn't drive the gas station so much, you wouldn't need to get gas all the time.
Yeah. Also, like we didn't see him getting his car back, but if he's in as dire straits as we are led to believe,
that would be very expensive.
Like, yes. Like that's probably like $300 to get his car back.
That's like at least 3 infomercials for him, right? He's making $150 or something for an episode or whatever it was.
Yeah, $100 a question.
$100 a question. Yeah, so he'd have to do 3-4 questions. There's no way.
Yeah.
Also, you can't be upset about his car getting towed. Like he left it at the gas station,
right,
at a pump
for an hour, probably.
No, she had 20-minute break. Yeah, the 20-minute break. That was probably more like an hour.
That scene was way more than 20 minutes.
Hey, you can't get food and eat it in 20. Like, no way. Come on.
No, and have a conversation about like hopes and dreams and like, are you married? Like, what?
Yeah.
No.
He literally just had to go get the car and park it next to the. Yeah. Anyways. This is okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Also, he's glad that she doesn't have a TV because that way she doesn't know what's going on in the world. That's really stressing him out.
Yeah.
The speaker works now also.
Yes, that's been fixed.
They're kind of Brian Wilson plug.
Yeah, they're kind of doing a little flirting too, right?
Heavily flirting, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're bonding over Brian Wilson now.
Right.
She's got the old song on there, and she's singing it to him like, "Oh, I love that crummy movie line," and he's like, "Haha, yeah, people don't say crummy anymore."
Yeah, and then they confirm that they're like seeing each other, and then he's like, "Oh, I've got something for you." The flashcards come back.
Very Love Actually. Which
we
go listen to that episode, listeners.
Yeah.
if you haven't already.
We all know how we feel about that.
Trash movie.
Trash. So he pulls out the cards and he's made these little wheel things. You get the music, indie music kicking up,
Yep. And then naked Thomas on cue. No one can see me. I'm invisible. He repeats over and over again. Who actually has mental health problems.
Yes.
Naked Thomas.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he definitely does. And then he gets a little protective because Naked Thomas, and he's being aggressive and getting a water bottle, whatever. Right. And she kind
gives
of
him water.
He's okay. He's harmless.
He's okay. That's just Naked Thomas. And he's like, what? And then she goes, his wife left him, so he likes water. And then they never revisit or explain that.
Nah. No
and
need to.
Yeah, she feels really bad for him because he must have loved her a lot. And Eddie's like, yeah, well, like I'll just hang out with you then, and pulls out a chair and then
and sits in the middle of the gas station and comments on how nighttime people or they don't start having a conversation about the crazy people come out at nighttime or something like that.
yes, she's like, do you think it's weird that I work at a gas station? And he's like, no, like at night, she's like, at night all the normal people disappear, and that's why I like it. And he's like, oh yeah, well, weird people are cool. And she's like, I really liked our French fry date. And he's like, I like how weird you are. Like, you're totally wacky like me.
Yeah. And also, you can't be calling Crazy Thomas, Naked Thomas, or crazy when you're
right
being a little crazy. You can't throw rocks at, kettles,
That's right.
Don't throw rocks.
The rock through the kettle with 2 stones.
Yes, you can't do that.
No.
So
back at the ranch.
Yeah, I guess we're
end scene.
Yep, back at his apartment. He's watching the Stillerman show again, right? And then the footage of him freaking out was going viral, right?
Yep.
And he locks his apartment door.
They love the woman that was filming him at the thing too. Is like, I put it on my Instagram and I already have 1,000 hearts. No, people don't talk like this. Like, what do you?
Everyone's dumb.
And
and
all the late night people are worried about him, right?
Yes.
Or they claim to be.
And then he looks out his window and he sees Naked Thomas being naked.
Yeah.
So, end scene. And we're back at the gas station.
Yeah.
He's picking up Judy and they're watching a homeless guy just freak out and just throw trash all over the gas station. And Hercules there, the other gas attendant, the owner there, he's yelling at him.
Yeah.
Everyone's crazy.
And then she gets in the car and they drive off to their date, their museum date.
Museum date. Great date. I think that's a great date.
I agree. And Judy asks if it's weird. He's like, yeah, sure. No, this isn't weird. This is normal. Like, stop being like, oh, we're so quirky and cool.
Do we have to keep saying that we're weird and quirky?
Yes. Like it. It's like, it's the person at the party who's like, oh, I'm so drunk. And you're like, all right, I get it.
Yeah. We can tell by your actions.
Yeah. So are the rest of us. We're having a good time. Like, get off of me.
I can tell by your slurring words that you're drunk. Like,
yeah. Are we so quirky and weird? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I can tell by your cardigan that you're fucking quirky and weird.
Wow. You're wacky, just like me. Okay. All right, Judd Apatow. Thanks.
Yeah, your earth tone colored clothing. Yeah, I can tell you're quirky and weird. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. So they're at the museum, and then this is he kind of opens up, right?
Yeah.
About it, that he was married
a long time ago,
and she dead.
Yeah. Which he's also saying annoyingly, and like the scene is drawn out for no reason of like, and one day she was just gone. And he's like, oh no, she left you. And no, she died. Why didn't you just say that?
Just say that.
And then he apologizes for the cheap dates.
Stuff from the trailer.
Yep. She's like, no, this is cool. He says he's been out of it. He's going to bounce back. And then he asks her if she wants to go do goat stuff in Mexico.
Hey, man, you want to go do goat stuff in Mexico? It sounds like, what are we getting into? No. What are we doing?
Yeah. I don't think he said it exactly like that, but but basically.
Paraphrased.
She's like, I want to start a shelter or a pet store or something with stability. I'm like, I don't think a pet store is a place with stability, is it? Like,
I don't. I mean,
or a shelter where you're going through animals all the time. All right. She's trying to save up for it. He's trying to encourage her dreams here, and that's when he offers to be partners on this, and she kisses him. And there's theremin music.
Yeah.
Because like, how quirky and weird are they? Yeah. And that's when she says, there's a guy who came to the station with a TV on his head that worked. And I wish you were there. And that's when I knew. I wish there was another weird appreciating person here with me. Stupid.
And then he drops her back off the gas station.
Basically, yeah. I mean, he says, it's they like wrap up the museum. It's nice to sit and stare at the bones. And she's like, yeah, bones. And he watches her leave. He drops her off and drives away.
And then we're at Chris's apartment, and this is where things get going, right?
Yeah. Classic quote. Catch me masturbating once, shame on me. Catch me twice, shame on you.
Love that. So Chris is sitting there watching. Chris has internet, so and YouTube. So he's watching a video
Huge
of
win.
Eddie's freak out, and his like someone put like an exploding thing over Eddie's head.
Right.
And then this is where we get more disconnect, where Eddie has no idea what the internet is, has no idea how YouTube works, doesn't know anything. Which
take it off. Someone's making money off it, and it's not us.
Yeah, he's very, very money motivated, right? Greedy bastard.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously,
come on, man.
Go do another question or two.
And yeah, he's like, "Can you take this off?" And Chris says he can't because he's not Steve Jobs. And it delivered by Tracy Morgan. That's funny.
Yep.
And then Eddie freaks out again. He's freaking out about the producer. Like he's like,
who put it there? Who put up this video? Like, I got to talk to the guy. Okay.
Yeah, go do what I guess you got to do. I don't know.
Yeah, and Chris is a normal person with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Can I watch your head explode one more time?"
Oh my god. Then we're at the studio lot. Back at the studio lot, and this is where we meet Adam Levine.
We just see Chris he's walking around with a piece of paper like to somewhere. Like they like set it up like we're like, why is he?
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he knows where he's going even.
No.
But he ends up at the lot. And
then he's talks to Adam Levine, who's the producer, showrunner, right? One of them.
Yep.
And Chris is supposed to just hand him the letter,
right?
But then he gets kind of
security does not want to let him through because he could be a threat.
I mean, everyone in this movie is crazy people, so yeah,
right.
Everything's possible, right?
But then the producer's like, no, he's cool. He's with me. You want to bring the letter to him yourself?
Yeah, to Stillerman yourself. And he's like, what's happening? So then he's in the green room, right in the back.
Yeah.
And this is kind of funny. And Mark Cuban's just sitting in there,
right? It's
a kind of great Mark Cuban, Tracy Morgan stare down
over the plate of snacks.
Sushi. It was a plate of sushi.
Yeah.
And every time Chris was trying to grab some sushi, Mark Cuban just told him no.
Yeah. It was weird.
But hey, whatever.
One of the better scenes in the movie, I guess.
And then we get Stillerman meeting with, producer, showrunner there. And they decide to put Chris on TV.
Well, because they're watching him on the security camera.
Yeah, in the green room.
In the green room. Yeah. And like just to see how he is. They're trying to decide, like, is he crazy? Can we put him on TV? And they're like, no, I think he's just a normal dumb guy. And they're like, okay, then yeah, let's put him on the show.
Put him on the show.
So they go to the show.
Yeah.
We introduce Chris. Stillerman asks him why he's there. And he's like, oh, well, like, because those guys, like pointing at
pointing at him. Yeah.
And he's like, I don't think I should be here. He like says that a few times. Like, I don't think I should be here. And Stillerman demands that he reads the list of demands.
Yeah. The letter that Eddie had written, right?
Yep.
He's kind of pressured into it. So he reads it.
Yep.
And yeah.
Spells Stillerman's name wrong, which is kind of funny.
Kind of funny, yeah.
And he writes, I guess. like there's like a line where he's like, and I'm like, I want to do this thing, I guess. And he's like, you wrote, I guess? He's like, yeah, I don't. And then he's apparently closes the letter basically by asking for $1 million to appear on the show. Which
is
everyone laughs.
Yeah. And that's completely reasonable to laugh at because
sure. Yes. Yeah.
$1 million.
They get Mark Cuban on the green screen cam. And they're like, hey, Mark, how much are we paying you to be on the show? And he's like, nothing. Ha ha ha. Like just this delicious sushi snack that you can't have, Chris. What a terrible movie so far.
Oh my God. But that feels like a good spot for us to kind of wrap this first part up here.
Yeah, agreed.
We're there's a lot on the plate here.
Yeah.
Like will Eddie and Chris get their jobs back doing something?
Nope.
Is he gonna get his $1 million to appear on the Stillerman show?
Maybe.
Is Judy gonna get fired? Or is she already fired yet? She hasn't been fired yet. Maybe she will be. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe she will be.
Will she open that shelter she's always wanted to open? These are hard-hitting questions.
Will Chris continue to have internet?
Now that he's been fired from his job, can he afford it?
Right? Yeah.
I wonder how much they're all paying and how much they all paying in rent too.
It doesn't seem like much.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like it's like I don't know. So a lot of stuff.
We'll answer those questions and more in part 2.
So thanks for listening. We're back on Thursday with part 2. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That or ITMT Pod on Twitter, and subscribe if you're on Google Podcasts or Spotify or something.
Apple too.
Apple, that one too. Steve Jobs, though, we can't take it down. So
that's right.
We're not Steve Jobs. Yeah. So don't know how. So
while you're there hanging out with Steve Jobs, leave us a review. I think on his deathbed, I was trying to say his dying wish on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Was that you leave a review for It's This Meets That on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
I think
So.
I've heard.
I've heard rumors that was kind of uttered. It was like Rosebud. Yeah. He was like, ITMT.
Review them. Yeah, so 5 stars, please. It's what Steve Jobs would want. Or if you just want to write to us, tell us we're doing a good job, correct us on any of the many mistakes that we make that we will never apologize for.
No, absolutely not.
Any other things like that, you can send us an email, long form communication, as they say.
Yeah.
It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com, or go to the website. There's all the information that we just said and pictures of us and some cool blog posts. Lots of stuff. Lots of good stuff on the website, right?
So much stuff.
It's thismeetsthat.com. Hit it up.